Hey folks, and welcome back to the Secret Lab. It's been a minute since I've had you guys come in, listen to me talks. After finishing up doing the 31 Days of Halloween, and a couple little tiny videos here and there. My trip to Pagosa, you guys came and visited with me for that, but that was obviously not in the Secret Lab because I was walking around, and the location of the Secret Lab is secret. So anyway. Welcome, and I'm actually doing a review today. So this movie came out in 2003, and it's based on the mid to late 80s and a little bit of the 90s, early 90s, New York scene, club scene actually. And when I think of the 80s, I think of the the Cold War, big hair. Crazy cars, just great music, Motley Crue, but, Miami Vice with their, flashy clothes and stuff, but, something that I never really thought about, or really, I guess I didn't really know, because it's not really my, wheelhouse, was, what was going on in New York, and they were having this crazy, club scene, and, like back then, people would dress outrageously and just basically just have these, all this blast, all having a gas out there. You know what I mean? So anyway, I have for you the trailer. Just real quick for this movie. This won't be the normal format for this. It's just I'm just kind of just winging it right now. But I wanted to show you guys this trailer. For this movie, and I will talk over it a little bit just because you know how YouTube like to do. I think it's so important to begin with a bang, don't you? Yeah, so this is based on a true story, and Michael Alec is the main character in the movie, along with who is played by Macaulay Culkin. Seth Green is also in the movie, played by he portrays James St. James, who is the technical narrator for this movie. It's based off of his book, which is called The Disco Bloodbath, which has been since changed to Party Monsters to coincide with the movie. There's a lot of famous people in this movie. Macaulay Culkin, Michael Dermott, Wilmer Valderrama, Seth Green. What's his name? Oh, well, whatever. It's not that important. I'll just go through the list of characters here in a little bit. But, yeah, it's, that's probably good enough right there. So, anyway, in my opinion, it's actually a pretty good movie. It's, kind of an independent film, even though it did have, major, names in it. Let me see if I can, run through some of the stuff for it. Let's see here. So Marilyn Manson actually is in it. He does a cameo in the movie too, which is pretty cool. So let's see here. Dylan McDermott. I think I called him Micro earlier. Sorry. He plays the owner of the Limelight, which is the club where Michael Lang basically got big doing his club scene parties. Which is basically, this is why I like this movie, because it's not just about the fact that the dude's a murderer, and it's not just like, oh, let's get to that point. It's actually showing the rise and fall of this kid in the 80s scene, having moved from the Midwest, meeting people, becoming basically a star in this little microcosm of these people just having a good time, having fun, and just the dangers of living in excess, the drugs and just the craziness that happened, and leading up to his downfall, where he did murder his drug dealer. And the dude that they got to play Angel, what was his last name? Melendez, is just a perfect casting, because looks just like the real dude. Is pretty interesting. And actually, you know, in researching this movie to do this review, I actually came across a lot of really interesting resources online. Um, I mean, these people were famous. They were on Geraldo several times, the Phil Donahue show, you know, and which is really weird because I don't remember any of this because I mean I was around for that time, but I just must have just missed those episodes or something because I mean the way that these people dressed, it was really outlandish and stuff, and I would imagine that would stuck with me, but I just must have missed it. Um, but let's see here. John Stamos is in it too. I think he's technically supposed to be playing Geraldo, even though they could have totally gotten Geraldo to play Geraldo. But you know, let's see here. Let me get into some more of the technical aspects about this movie for this review because I don't want to give you a play by play of the movie. I just want to give you like little highlights of it, tell you where you can watch it and stuff like that. So I'll get to that in a moment. But anyway, so it has a thing that's not very. I mean, all right, a lot of people have probably seen that Rick and Morty episode where they go to the cat planet and the dude's like telling a story. He's like, and then he's like, just back to 2 weeks later earlier, and like, you know, stories should start where they start and end where they end, you know. But this movie totally does that, and it's kind of, I mean, it kind of works for the effect that they're going for. But I mean, I prefer to just let action roll. But they basically let you know right at the beginning that there's going to be a murder in the movie. Which, I mean, if you knew anything about this people anyway, you'd know that there was a murder involved. And so anyway, I digress. So that was something that I didn't really like. I like the fact that it does feel very independent film, like the way it was shot. It's not a super polished, you know, Hollywood production movie. It's very gritty in a sense, and it makes you feel like, you know, like you're part of these like, you know, like invasion wave parties that they were doing, that they were known for, because, you know, they would just do impromptu basic raves throughout the city in different spots and stuff. And there's a really cool scene where they do one in a restaurant that you should check out if you watch this movie. The soundtrack is pretty good because it's very the music that they play for the actual, like, showing you what they were listening to, you know, it's all that club dance music scene stuff. Not a ton of disco because that was or not disco, but techno rather. I think there is a little bit in there, but it's mostly like, you know, like just really good solid tracks from that time period if you're into that dance music scene. But it's also got some, like, just the background music, you know, for setting up scenes is also very good. It goes from whimsical to just outright I don't want to say panic inducing, but gives you a sense of anxiety when you're finding out what really happened towards the end. Like I said, it's based on a book, and obviously they've taken liberties, so some of the stuff isn't very correct to what actually happened. I haven't really had a chance to read the book yet, but I will, just because I find this very interesting, you know, because it's just a really, in my mind, when I saw it, you know, it was shortly after, it was like maybe like 2007, 2008, I believe I saw it. I actually saw it on IFC when IFC was still good and actually played independent films. But it was a trip because it really reminded me of just the rave scene that was going on in the 2000s. So for it to have come out in 2003, it was just I mean, obviously you can tell that it's a period piece for like the 80s and stuff. I mean, they even talk about Andy Warhol still being alive, so. But it was very reminiscent of what was already going on, what you could see with the drugs and the rave scene and just people just living for that party life. So, I mean, it was just really cool. It was just a really cool jump in to see that that, you know, the more things change, the more they stay the same, you know. But like, let's see here, the things I didn't really I feel like it could have been a little bit longer to be explained a little bit better, because the ending is very abrupt and kind of silly. I don't want to spoil the ending for you. Just, you should watch it, because like I said, it's actually a pretty good movie. It's not the best movie in the world, but it's pretty interesting. It's pretty unique. You know, and getting to see Macaulay Culkin as an adult in a movie and not what he looks like now is just, I don't know, it's worth a shot. It's worth checking out. So let's see here. I know that if you actually just type it into YouTube, Party Monster, just Party Monster, it'll pop up and you can watch the whole movie. It's like an hour and 30 some odd minutes, if you want to do it that way. If not, I think you can even just rent it from YouTube. But like I said, it's a good movie. You should check it out. I would say it's probably, in my opinion, like a 7 out of 10, you know? Not the greatest movie in the world. It's not going to change your life. It's a really, like I said, just an interesting look into these people's lives. You know, get to see basically the story of how Michael Alec went from being like the king of the club scene to going to jail for murdering Angel Melendez, I believe is his name. And then after you watch that, maybe if you want to do some deep dives like I did, just keep looking through that tab, because you'll see all the clips of them being on like Geraldo and other shows. You'll see that some of the scenes were very similar to what was actually on those talk shows, you know. The one thing that was really weird though, and I just want to put this out there, because like I said, I haven't read the book yet, so I don't know how much of liberties they took, or exactly how close James St. James was to Michael Alec. But it seems like the movie makes it look like, you know, they're always in each other's life. They're doing everything constantly together. But then when you watch like some of the interviews and stuff, it's just Michael Alec, and James St. James isn't anywhere around. So it's like, how much did he actually make up for the movie? Because I'm 90% sure he was involved in that filming of that movie. And just that kind of stuff, you know. It's like, just makes you think. So it's worth a deep dive and stuff. And like I said, I'm probably going to get that book and read it, just because I'm invested now at this point. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. I want to try to do this every Friday. Just pull up an old or kind of like oft overlooked movie, kind of like, not like a mainstream, like a huge, like, you know, super popular movie. Like, I'm not going to do like, I don't know, The Matrix or anything on here. But like, just like movies like this, like, I was going to try to do Spun next week if I get a chance, but I'm also going to do the 12 Days of Christmas as soon as we get closer to Christmas. So, hang around for that as well. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is very impromptu, just because I had a lot of stuff going on, so I didn't really get to pour as much time into this project this time, but I hope to make it a little bit better every time, you know. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later. All right, bye.